What if I told you one of the deadliest infectious diseases in the world is also one of the most curable, and yet it is still killing millions of people? That's the question at the heart of the book that we chose at the Double Shots and Historic Plots Book Club, Everything is Tuberculosis, and it is by John Green. Getting into this book, I didn't expect to feel as much as I did. Tuberculosis can sound like a distant historical illness and something that's out of the 1800s. But John Green makes it very clear that TB is not just history, it is very much a present-day crisis. One of the strongest parts of this book is how it personally makes you feel. Green shares stories about real people affected by tuberculosis, and those stories really ground the statistics. It's easy to skim over numbers, but it's much harder to ignore someone else's life, their family, and their future. And that human element in this book was very prevalent and very powerful. He also does a great job of explaining how tuberculosis is not just a medical issue. It's deeply connected to poverty, access to healthcare, and global inequality. The frustration really builds when you realize that TB is both preventable and treatable. The problem is not that we don't have the tools. The problem is that not everyone has equal access to those tools. That said, this book did fall flat for me in some areas. There were moments where the pacing slowed down, and a few sections felt very repetitive. In other places, the tone came across as a bit preachy. I completely agree with the message of compassion and justice, but sometimes it feels like that point was being emphasized so strongly that it left little room to sit with the complexity of this issue. Overall, I think this was a very good book, and it is an important book. The themes of compassion, awareness, and inequality are evident throughout. It definitely sparked meaningful conversations within our book club, and it made me think more deeply about how global issues are often really issues of equity. So while it's not the perfect read for me, I am glad that we read it and that we chose it as a book club. If you're interested in global health, social justice, or books that challenge you to care about something beyond your immediate world, then this is definitely a book you might want to check out. If you're interested in joining the Double Shots and Historic Plots book club, the link is in the bio.